What's Crack-A-Lackin? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome into another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleaze. Today's episode, we're going to be diving into my running back top 36 rankings heading into Week 7. Remember, guys, Derrick Henry, James Cook, the Bills, and the Ravens are on a bye, so get them out of your lineup. In this episode, it's not going to be all the stats and crazy stuff that were dropped on the running back start-em sit-em video, so if you want to check out all the defensive stats, every single thing there was, that's on the start-sit side. For these ranking videos, I just use my personality, look at how I think the game's going to go, and obviously my stats break into the rankings and stuff like that, but I like to be a little different on these videos so you don't get the same kind of thing back and forth there. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure you tap that thumbs up, hit that subscription button, turn that bell on. I'll be live Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And Monday, we'll do the recap show where we were right, where we were wrong. I like to show transparency so I can be better for you guys. Now, if you guys have not checked out drafters.com, I'll be drafting live on Friday, doing some DFS, some splash drafts. We drop all of our pick'ems and everything like that into our Discord, the Guys FF, me and Big Draft Energy. We cover everything off-stream fantasy football for you guys. And all these are in the description, pinned at the top, and they're in the description if you want to check them out. Now let's dive into my top 36 running back rankings for Week 7. So, guys, if you're new to the channel, this is my running back rankings board. Baller tier, your must-start running backs at the top. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 5. We're going to break all the way down to the top 36. Remember, guys, James Cook down here in the bottom left. Derrick Henry down here in the bottom left. They are on buys, guys. And up here, man, the injury list just keeps piling up, and I'm going to let this go as far as we can. I might have to make like a new design for it or something if they keep coming up. Eckler's done for the year. Aaron Jones should be back next week. Trey Benson down for the year. Joe Mixon, we have no idea. Bunch of reports say he won't play this year. Then they say he'll come back. We don't know what's going on there. James Conner's season is over. Bucky Irving has already been ruled out for Monday Night Football. And Amari and Hampton, we get another update that says that he's going to be longer than 4 weeks, and their bye is week 12. So who knows about him? And then down here in the bottom, these are running backs that were on my chart last week, and now they're going to be kind of honorable mention. We'll talk about them if we need to when we get to it at that point. So let's start it off here, and I like to do matchup based. So when my ranking starts off with number 1, we'll talk about both players, and if there's multiple running backs on it, we'll do both of them there as well, guys. So starting off with number 1, dude, my goodness, Jonathan Taylor and the freaking Indianapolis Colts. If you went back and you looked at, pick 1 in your draft, right? You're probably like, I should have taken Jonathan Taylor at 1. Absolutely crazy, right? So now you get the Los Angeles Chargers in this matchup, and we're going to pull up Kamani Vidal, and I'm a lot lower on Kamani Vidal, but we'll get to him in a second. He's ranked at 27, and there's a reason the Chargers are shopping for a running back right now as well. So when you look at Jonathan Taylor here, right, you got to look at the Chargers the last 2 weeks. They just got crushed by Devon Achane. They got crushed by Ja'Cory Crosby-Merritt. Scatabo, and the Charger defense without Khalil Mack has just not been the same. So there's no way that Jonathan Taylor is not going to be RB1 this week in my eyes. I got him for 2 touchdowns, about 150-plus yards. Why? Because the Chargers secondary is absolutely phenomenal. This is why I'm low on Michael Pittman. This is why I'm higher in Josh Downs, because the Chargers struggle versus slot more, and they're going to have to feed their beast here in this game. This is a big, big game at 5-1 versus the 4-2 Chargers in LA here. Now, on the Kamani Vidal side, pump the brakes, guys. You have to look at the numbers. Give me a running back that hasn't shattered the Miami Dolphins this year. You can't name one, okay? Rico Dowdle could do it. Kamani Vidal could do it. They weren't even RB1s on their team coming into the season. I mean, I don't understand why the hype is so picked up for Kamani Vidal heading into this week. You're going to get the Colts. This is a very good run D he's going up against. Yes, they do struggle versus the zone scheme, and that's more of Harbaugh's style as the zone scheme, but I'm pumping the brakes here on Kamani Vidal, and I think it's going to be a different type game script here. I think it's going to be a lot, longer drives sustained by the Colts here pounding the run than a pass-heavy attack where the Chargers get the ball back a ton here in this game. So I have Kamani Vidal at 27 and Jonathan Taylor at 1. And like I said, there's a reason that the Chargers are out looking for a running back. Yeah, Kamani Vidal could hold the job down versus the worst run D in football that allows 179 yards to a running back a game. So pump the brakes on Kamani Vidal here. I have him at 27. Number 2, my goodness, it is Bijan the Monster Robinson. And guess what? He's going up against my boy who they trained with all year long. It was Bijan Robinson, CMC offseason training. And guess what? They're the only 2 running backs in football to average 20 points a freaking game in fantasy. That is how good these 2 are. The matchup, I know when you look at the 49ers defense, man, God, it sucks. I'm a Niner fan. Look behind me. We're down Nick Bosa. We're down Fred Warner. Our offense, wide receivers are down. We do get Kittle and Purdy back hopefully this week, which could help. But man, it's one of those years where we're 4-2, and I swear we're cursed by like the injury, like trainers that are, I don't know, it just drives me nuts, man. Now, CMC, the rushing game hasn't been there. Atlanta's been good versus the run. Their defense that they spent their draft capital for the future with to move up and get that defensive lineman, I'm forgetting his name right now, the rookie in the first round, they're paying off. This defense has been lights out. A.J. Terrell is going to absolutely lock up Kendrick Bourne. Juan Jennings out there with busted ribs. You just saw Bijan go for a freaking career high on Monday night. He's going to go absolutely nuclear again. And the Falcons have finally realized what I've been saying throughout all my videos. Get this guy the ball nonstop. He's the best player on the planet right now at running back. Bijan Robinson is a god. Looking at Josh Jacobs here, and we got to go down here and grab Bam Knight because I am going to put Bam Knight over Michael Carter, who Michael Carter's down here in the window clip down here. They got into a fight before the game with him and DeMercado and Gannon, the coach, and they benched him. And then Bam Knight found the end zone. Now, Bam Knight's at 35, so I mean it's barely a flex play if you need. He'd have to fall into the end zone against the Green Bay Packers. Very good run D. So not a lot to talk about with Bam Knight. You got Kyler Murray maybe not playing quarterback. Maybe he is. Jacoby Brissett. Marvin Harrison with a concussion. I don't like Bam Knight that much, but he does come in at 35. Josh Jacobs. This is like 13 out of 14 games with a touchdown. I had him at RB1 last week. Almost hit that. Rico Dowdle beat him by a little bit. Josh Jacobs is going to explode 100% in this game. The Arizona Cardinals season is over. And when you look at the Green Bay Packers wide receiver room, you don't know how it's going to play out. But there's one thing you know for sure. Josh Jacobs is going to possibly get a touchdown every single game. So he's my RB4. Easy call for me there. Moving down to number 5. Here it is. This is my call of the week. And he has a chance possibly at RB2, 3, 1. And we just talked about why. Quinshon Judkins is going to get the Miami Dolphins defense. And when I was talking about Kamani Vidal, just take this into consideration right now. The Miami Dolphins defense through 6 games, just to the running back, this is not wide receivers, not tight ends, just to the running back position, has given up 1,076 yards in 6 games. Just to give you a mathematical breakdown, 1,206 would be 200 a game. This is about 179, I think it's 179.3 yards per game they give up on the ground. Smash Quinshon Judkins into your lineup this week and don't even look back. Now, on the Devon Achane side, you guys know, if you've been to my channel, I've been subscribed before, this is my guy. Like, I've been recognized as like the Devon Achane founder since coming out into the NFL draft. Now, you get the Cleveland Browns. This defense is fucking nasty versus the running back. But they're out number 1 versus the running back as well. I think they're second in yards. I think they're behind the Green Bay Packers in rushing yards allowed. But Devon Achane is an X factor all over the place. If this guy gets a glimpse of open space, he's like Speedy Gonzalez, man. He's just gone. And you saw that last week. And they're going to line him up everywhere. They're going to line him inline, Z-back, outline, slot, wide receiver, everywhere. You got Jalen Waddle trade rumors flying right now. The Miami Dolphins are in shambles. Who even knows what happens with Devon Achane? But even against the Cleveland Browns, where I usually bench running backs, he's so versatile that he's still going to make the top 11 for me coming in at number 11. Number 6, and I'm not buying any of this freaking Dan Campbell talk that it's going to be more David Montgomery. Jahmyr Gibbs is the better running back. You just lost a game. They're just saying that just because they lost to the Chiefs. Do not phase out or think that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to lose anything by any means. I still have Jahmyr Gibbs at number 6 and David Montgomery at number 24. And why do I have Montgomery so much lower, even though the talk that he's going to get more work? They're going up against Tampa Bay. So I'm going to throw Rachaad White up here, and we'll talk about it here. And Rachaad White's been balling. But on the Lions side, Tampa Bay's defense is beat up in the secondary. Where is Tampa Bay strong at? They stopped the run in between the tackles is where David Montgomery lives. So I didn't want to look at stats. I wanted to do more acapella, but pull it up here because this is just a great point to throw at you. So when you look at Tampa, right, versus the running back, it's going to show you that it's green. They rank 23rd right now in the rankings. I'm looking at my notes here. So, but where are they freaking dominant at? Let's go total yards here. Let me grab it here. Rushing yards allowed, okay? Tampa Bay is number 5 overall with only 392 yards. They are damn good between the tackles. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be the running back that is going to be electric in this game. Could David Montgomery fall into the end zone for a red zone 1-yard rush? For sure, but not something I'm willing to bet on in this game. Now, Rachaad White, this guy has been all you needed as the backup handcuff to Bucky Irving. And Bucky Irving's already been ruled out. He's seeing 20-plus touches a game. Yes, it's going to be a very tough matchup in between the tackles versus Detroit, but Detroit also hemorrhages a lot of receiving yards, which Rachaad White is good at as well. And they're not going to have many receivers, but Baker Mayfield's been so damn good that it's probably going to be an amazing game because he's my MVP right now, and Rachaad White is going to come in at RB13 just because his usage. Number 7, if there ever was a time, this is it. I got Saquon Barkley at number 7. They're going up against the Minnesota Vikings. I got Jordan Mason at number 15. The Vikings are coming off a bye. And Saquon Barkley, why do I like him to have his first 20-point game of the season this week? Well, let's talk about it here. The Minnesota Vikings defense, like we said, getting healthy, coming off a bye. What are they good at? Number 1 versus the wide receiver. Number 1 versus the quarterback. I believe they're like 27, 28 versus the running back. I don't want to get it wrong. Sorry, 19 versus the running back, okay? This is Saquon time. Jalen Hurts, they've been struggling in the pass game. Your boy called that all year long. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly. You're probably going to get A.J. Brown trade rumors here, even though they're 4-2. They're not happy on the sideline. Could they force feed him? Yeah, but it's not the game they're going to force feed him to. This is the wrong defense to try and pass against, especially coming off a bye. And the Eagles' offensive line pass protection has been bad, banged up. They're going to get blitzed at the highest rate in the NFL. This is the Saquon time. I like him for 20 points this week. And Jordan Mason, you still got Aaron Jones out. Hopefully the Eagles get Jalen Carter back. That was a weird kind of ruled out for him. He's missed also that first game for spitting, so that's their best defensive end that's been down. So the Eagles' run D has been worse, but it's kind of a narrative of is it really worse or are they just missing their star player? So they're ranking very bad against the run. They also give up like 100-plus yards a game, I believe. I think they're giving up like 620 or something like that. This could be a big, big, big Jordan Mason game. And his yards after contact is just insane. And I've loved him since he's a 49er. I hated to see him go. But God, he's my league winner down the stretch. And I know you get Aaron Jones back next week, but I still like Jordan Mason. I do not trust Aaron Jones. Number 8, and they're going to have to lean on him heavy. Kyren Williams. They're going at London, man. These London games are just atrocious this year. They're not even fun to watch. And I get up at 6:30 over here on the freaking West Coast to watch them. And I got up for no reason last week. I mean, the Bo Nix Justin Field games was terrible. Every game's been terrible out there. And that's kind of what I fear here. But you do have Puka Nacua, who's going to be out. I know it's not ruled out yet, but it's almost set in stone that he's going to be ruled out. That leaves Devontae Adams, and that's going to leave you Kyren Williams. And Kyren Williams, there's no way I'm benching this guy regardless, period, in the Sean McVay system. Even if the Jacksonville Jaguars defense was number 1 and we're at London, I'm starting Kyren Williams with ease. And when it's coming to Travis Etienne, this is rough. Etienne, that's why I told you to sell high, man. Etienne and the Jags have such a tough run game schedule coming. The Rams are a top 3 run defense. They've been lights out this year. And Jacksonville, you even saw LaQuint Allen get some carries on the first drive last week. So I was like, what's going on here? I know Byshell Tootin still didn't play that much, but if LaQuint Allen's getting carries, making me a little nervous on Travis Etienne. And the Jags are still 4-2. So, like, why are they, giving carries to their RB3 on the opening drive? Sketchy waters, man. But I got Travis Etienne at RB23 this week. Bang. Bang. The game you want to see coming in at 9 is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, and coming in at 10 is Javonte Williams. This is the game you want to start every position. If you guys watch any of my videos before, I want to start the quarterbacks, the running backs, the wide receivers, the tight ends. The over-under just went up another point to 55.5. Now we got CeeDee Lamb and Terry McLaurin back. But I have this gut feeling, which is weird. I think it's going over 60. If you look statistically on the defenses, this game should go over 60. But I think this is where the NFL just befuddles you. And for some reason, the game could be like a 17-20 ugly game, which is what I don't want. But it's just I have this gut feeling that that's going to happen. If I was betting, which I'm going to bet on the game, I'm going to take the over. That's just a weird, I was talking to my buddy George on the phone today, and I was like, dude, I feel like this could just be a trap where it's 23-20. It's a trap game, division game, and we all think it's going 80 points, and it doesn't. But I'm starting both these running backs in the top 10 easy this week. Number 12, Ashton Genty. We just got the update that Pete Carroll doesn't carry. He's going to give him 20-plus touches a game, which is what you want for a running back. I know you're going up against the Chiefs. I know the Raiders are an absolute shambles. I mean, Geno Smith's like the absolute worst quarterback in football, and that's saying something when Spencer Rattler's out there, man, and Dylan Gabriel's out there. Like, this is their rookie season. This guy's been a vet. You even know the head coach you're with in Pete Carroll, and yuck. And I think Jacoby Myers is on his way out. But still, Genty's still going to probably be top 15 for me, just volume-based. And he looks great since they changed him back to the stance he should have been using since college the whole time. They're probably going to pound the run because the pass game's nothing. So even if you're playing from behind, which they most likely are with Rashee Rice back in this game, the Chiefs are going to erupt. And this is the highest I've ranked Isaiah Pacheco all week, guys. And this is my bold call that he is going to get 15-plus points this week and is a solid flex, high-end flex running back play with Isaiah Pacheco this week. You get the Raiders. The Raiders offense is not going to move the ball much at Arrowhead. You just saw Isaiah Pacheco's snap share jump up to 77%. I consider RB1 usage at 70%. That's above RB1 usage. That means they're kind of phasing out Kareem Hunt. Maybe they think that Isaiah Pacheco is getting healthy off that injury, which is why I stayed away from him all year. I still don't trust it like moving forward. I just love this matchup versus the Raiders run D, which is terrible. And you know the Raiders offense not going to move the ball much at Arrowhead. Possessions are going to be there in bunches for the Chiefs. And with Rashee Rice back out there, they're just going to have to stop the Patrick Mahomes, to shout out BDE, revenge tour that he's on an absolute tear. Overall, number 1 overall in fantasy, and now you get your superstar back. Look out, and Isaiah Pacheco is going to have a big game. I have him at 22 here. Coming in, number 14, man. So here you go. Just take your lineup. If you have Caleb Williams, if you have DeAndre Swift, just lock them in. Don't even think about it for the next 4 weeks of fantasy football here. Their schedule is pure gold. This is why I told you guys to go trade for him. This is why I said go buy low Caleb Williams, go buy low and DeAndre Swift. Because, dude, look at this. You get the Saints, the Ravens defense off of bye. They've still been terrible. The Bengals, the Giants defense, they've been terrible. It's the next 4 weeks, lock them in, leave them in there. Don't even think about it. And you saw DeAndre Swift, the pass catching ability, the running ability last week. Although it was a plus matchup versus the Commanders, still, he looked great doing it. Now, number 18, Alvin Kamara. And this one's tough because the matchup is great versus the Bears. I know the Bears kind of locked up JCM, but they still had like 100 yards combined between him and McNichols in that game. So Kamara's got a great matchup. He did get a little more usage. You still saw, Kendre Miller out there at 30%. And who knows if he's being traded. There's a lot of talk of in-house of Kamara staying. And he's had a, meeting with Loomis, or I forget the owner's name. I think that's it. And he's like, I've lived in, New Orleans forever. My family's here. I don't want to move them. If the Saints are a smart franchise, the players don't run the franchise, man. They need to make a decision. And I would trade Kamara if I was the Saints. But if he's going to stay, it's not going to be pretty probably the rest of the season for him. In a Kellen Moore system, you don't get a lot of where Alvin Kamara's thrived for years is pass catching. You don't get a lot of that in a Kellen Moore system. It's more to the slot. So I got him at 18. He could fall into the end zone this week for sure. The matchup's great versus the Bears. You're at home. It's just tough with Alvin Kamara what to do right now. Number 16, the highest I've ranked him all year long. I absolutely love this matchup. Why? Because the Cincinnati Bengals are the worst defense versus the running back on the season. Like, the Miami Dolphins and the Bengals, you start every running back that's out there. So he looked good last week on limited snaps. I think he got like 11 for 55 or something. He had like 5 yards per carry. Aaron Rodgers has been as efficient as you can get for an old man. You get the Bengals, you get the Joe Flacco old man battle here. I love Jaylen Warren this week. And then we have to talk about the worst pick in fantasy football right now. Chase Brown. That offensive line is so bad. And I even thought last week, I thought he'd be a nice flex play because maybe Joe Flacco can read the defense enough to get the ball out quick to the running back. And that didn't happen. I had his reception prop as a lock, and that didn't happen. It doesn't look good for Chase Brown anytime soon, and you can't even sell at all. I mean, who's buying, right? Like, if I own Chase Brown right now, and this is just an inside little tip, I'd probably be looking to like at least pick up Taj Brooks because I don't know how long this is going to keep going like this. This is very, very ugly. Samaje Perine's even cut into the time here. I feel really bad because I don't think Chase Brown is this bad of a running back. I just think they spent too much damn money on Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase that they can't protect their assets of their offensive line. It's just trash. So I got Chase Brown at 28, and if you want to start him, that is on you, man. It is rough. Number 17, the trade candidate that I've been talking about for years just freaking happened. Breece Hall, which I've been saying will not be good. He will not return his investment for a pick in the New York Jets. Will be traded. I've been saying this since offseason last year. He just requested a trade right now. So get your popcorn ready. The 3 teams, according to the update, that are looking at him are the Chiefs, the Texans, and I believe the Chargers are the 3rd team that I saw a sleeper drop on there. But they get the Panthers this week. And yeah, he got 20-plus carries last week, and he didn't do shit with it. And you just saw Javonte Williams get locked up. They got a better offensive line than the Jets. Breece Hall is in for a tough matchup here. But, could he get it done because Garrett Wilson's out of the passing game? He should see more receptions. That would make more sense. But Justin Fields, I just can't trust it. I got him at 17, and this is like, I honestly, nope. We're going to do this right now because this is one of my favorite calls. I'm going to legitimately right now, we're going to move Isaiah Pacheco up into RB17, and we're going to move Breece Hall down to RB22 because I just don't trust it. But could they showcase him for the trade and just let Breece go crazy? They could, for sure. I can't argue that. But I like Pacheco better this week, so I got to be true to myself here. I'm going to put Pacheco at 17 and Breece Hall at 22. And the Jets are going up against the Panthers. Sorry, I got to talk about both. And we just got the update that Chuba Hubbard is going to be out there. 110%. He's playing this week. That was the update according to Sleeper. Shout out to them. Rico Dowdle looked great, but guys, you got to look at it. Rico Dowdle just played 2 of the worst run defenses back to back, and you just saw Kamani Vidal poop on Miami. So yeah, he's looked great with 200+ yards. They have a way better offensive line. The Panthers have a top 5 line, and you get the Jets. So Jets have been not great versus the run. I mean, they're not great against anything really. So I just don't know how to rank this out now because how's the timeshare going to be? Is it 50-50? But I think if you have both of them, you can flex either one of them this week would be my guess because I don't think the game script is going to go at all great for the New York Jets here. I think the Panthers are going to be up. I think the Panthers are going to pound the rock. And I got to wait and see the next week, man. It's too tough right now. They paid Chuba a lot of money, right? So he's still got to be their guy in the franchise's mind. And if Chuba Hubbard was out there in the 2 weeks that Dowdle was, he probably would have done the same thing. So it's really tough to judge how this running back room is going to go. So I'm going to put them at 20 and 21. Number 19, Scatterboo. What a freaking game he just had last week. Electrified the crowd, electrified the New York Giants fans, electrified everything. Him and Jackson Dart have it going on. And they're playing the Broncos this week at Mile High, though. So we'll talk about J.K. Dobbins. I have at 31, and R.J. Harvey I have at 36. But, man, when you got, the hype of the hype coming in, there's going to be a lot of people that want to smack them in the mouth, too. And the Denver Broncos defense is one that could do that with ease. And when you're ripping your shirt off at TNF and bumping with Fitzpatrick, you got to remember that other players are seeing this shit happen at the same time, too. So, yeah, Scatterbo looked great in that game. Jalen Carter was out of that game as well, like we talked about. So, Denver Broncos defense, this is a different animal here. You're at Mile High. I don't like Scatterbo as much as others, but I'm also not one of those, content creators that's going to give you, hey, this guy had 20 points last week. Let's not look at the matchup and just throw him in our lineup. That's why Kamani Vidal and Scatterbo are lower for me this week because they're in tougher matchups. So I got Scatterbo at 19, and J.K. Dobbins, he just bit me in the ass. I had him as a smash last week. He did not smash, and I had to go back and look at why. And what I noticed with J.K. Dobbins is in his games where he's popped, he also popped a 40-plus yard run. He's had big runs this year. He has not been efficient in between the tackles. He has not been efficient on yards per carry. He's been efficient on one explosive big run. And if you don't hit that big run, you're not going to hit it. And the New York Giants front is nasty. This front seven is very good. So I've got him at 31, R.J. Harvey at 36, and I'd like to see R.J. Harvey get a little more work here. And R.J. Harvey's also a major buy low if you want to check out my running back video. Why? Because I just don't trust J.K. Dobbins' health. This guy's been hurt every single year of his career. I think he has like over 10 injuries to his lower body. It's just rough. And like ACL is just reconstructed to the max. Now, moving down to tier 4 here. This is just gross. And I try to tell you guys all year, I'd rather take Charbonnet at value than Kenneth Walker. That's what you're getting, man. You're getting 60% Charbonnet, 38% Kenneth Walker. And you just got another update today that Kubiak does not plan to change anything with the Seattle run game. It is going to stay a split the whole year long. It's going to take an injury for these guys. This is probably going to be like Dowdle and Hubbard. You're not going to know what to do all year long with them. Just hope and pray, flex play. Matchup is tough against the Houston Texans run D. Monday night. If you need to flex any of them, I'd rather flex Charbonnet. That's why I ranked him higher, because he gets the red zone work. He gets the touchdown upside. Not much to talk about there with Kenneth Walker getting, 8 carries, and he has to be explosive, kind of like a J.K. Dobbins, to have a good game with a big run. So 25-26 for the Seattle Seahawks running backs this week. And I got to talk about, I believe I do have Nick Chubb up here. So I got Nick Chubb at 34. Could it be Woody Marks, off the bye? Could they lean on the rookie more? I could actually, we'll just double them up together here at 34, because this is a situation. I don't know how it's going to go either. So we'll leave Woody Marks there at 34 with Chubb. I'd like to see Woody get more work, and I don't think Joe Mixon's coming back anytime soon, but you're at the 12th man. This is going to be tough sledding. And when you look at it, Seattle's secondary was really banged up, which is why I liked BTJ last week. And they were all doubtful, though. Those 3 guys were doubtful, so there was a chance they were going to play. So if they're back out there, it's going to make it even tougher. And I'm not throwing out Nick Chubb or Woody Marks unless your desperation need to. Coming in at number 29, we got another one of those situations, and I like Tyjae Spears more than I like Tony Pollard this week for the Tennessee Titans. And I should have talked about them, at the beginning there. I usually do 2 players at once, so I think I missed that. But when the Tennessee Titans here, oh no, never mind. Sorry. See, we're live, baby. We live making mistakes, but that happens here. So they're taking on the New England Patriots, and this game is just yuck, right? It's so hard to decipher these running backs. So when I'm looking at Tony Pollard, and I just saw the New England Patriots absolutely shatter James Cook, their run defense has absolutely become phenomenal. They struggle and give up more yards to the pass-catching running back. And in this game script, I think the Patriots are going to beat the brakes off the Titans, right? So you're probably going to get more Tyjae Spears receiving work than you are Tony Pollard in between the trenches in this game. So I like Tyjae Spears as a better play, and they said he's going to be more involved. He went from, I think, 20% snaps to 60% snaps, and he led them with the first carry of the game. Tony Pollard has gotten phased out. I told you guys to sell while you had a chance. I hope you listened. And the Titans just fired their head coach. Calvin Ridley is down. This team is in absolute disarray. And I got Tyjae Spears at 29 and Tony Pollard at 30. And now on to the Patriots side. I got Ramondre Stevenson, who just played 70+% snaps after fumbling the ball 3 times in the 2 previous games. With Travion Henderson, I can't make it make sense. I can't make it make sense. So I got Ramondre at 32, Travion Henderson at 33. Guys, the Tennessee Titans defense is freaking terrible versus the run. I'm almost positive they're bottom 4. Actually, let's pull it up because I like this one a lot. So where's my chart here? Titans run D, okay? 27.8 points per game they give up. That's 4th worst. I hit that. Knowledge is there. I remember stuff. And 684 yards and 9 rushing touchdowns. That's the worst in the NFL. Second behind them is 7 with the Ravens. That's 9. This should be like, let one of them just be the guy. I'm sick of this. One of these guys is going to score. One of them will score. I just can't tell you which one. And obviously I'm going to put Ramondre Stevenson ahead because he's getting more work. He's getting more snap share. I can't make it make sense. I mean, I get these updates of pass blocking, but dude, Travion Henderson was like the highest ranked pass blocker coming out of Ohio State since like Ezekiel Elliott. Of all this situation, you could hear the frustration. It just, what to see? Let Travion Henderson, let him loose. It's driving me nuts. I got him at 32 and 33, and I can't explain it. If you guys could tell me what the hell is going on in the New England run back room, drop it in the comments and let me know. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. That is my top 36 running backs to help you dominate in week 7. Remember, guys, if you can't make any of the live shows tomorrow, this weekend, drop every question you have down below in the comments. I try to answer every single one of them for you guys. It is getting super tough with Twitter and YouTube, but that's one of my goals is to get to everything. So I promise I'll try to get to them all. Before you head out, make sure you tap that like, hit that subscription. Helps me out a ton. Can't thank you guys enough for all the support. Absolutely one of the best communities. You guys are absolutely goated. The support and love you show me and the heart and soul I put into this, guys, to make you guys be better. It's absolutely amazing. Again, guys, if you haven't checked out drafters.com, make sure you use promo code SLEEZ. It will double your initial deposit up to $100. And then we have the Guys FF Discord. Both those are pinned in the comments. That's it for me in this episode. My next one will be wide receiver and tight end. I don't know if I'm going to get them out today, but I will get them out Thursday. We got a little pickleball tournament here tonight at 6 p.m., so in about 3 hours. So we'll see how it goes. But either way, they'll be out before Thursday, and then I'll dive into some sleepers. And then Friday, we're going to have a different smash start look. So I usually do like 2 players per position. Now I'm going to give you like 3 to 5 per position, which is going to be, I think, a better look than just using 2 of them. So again, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the content. Sleazebomb out.